This is the Rovyvon S21 Search that has one of the most unique activation configurations I've ever seen on a light. And when you engage that switch, it's going to launch 3,000 lumens, 1,312 feet of distance at an intensity of 40,000 candelas. But with a water resistant rating of IPX8, I want to know if it can survive this. Whee! And I know you guys are tough on your gear, so I want to know if it can handle this.
A 15-foot drop.
So thanks for hanging with me today. I'm Aaron, this is Gideon's Tactical. Let's dive in. Now the activation switch is so different than any I've used before on a light, with these nice activation toggles built out of that aircraft grade aluminum. And when you roll it to the right, you're gonna activate your general use mode or everyday carry mode with 4 different settings. And if you roll it to the right, that engages emergency mode. A quick disclaimer, this is a flashlight video, so it should go without saying, but there are some strobe capabilities that this light has that I will be activating. So if you have light sensitivity issues, I'd bounce out now. You can press the center switch when it's off and it will tell you with those 4 LEDs how much battery life you have left. And that also will cycle through the settings depending on which side you have it kicked to. So if we have emergency mode, we have that strobe, or you can hit it again and it will cycle to SOS mode. Then you can hit it again and it'll go back to the strobe mode. Then when you want to turn it off, boom, you're off again. And then if we roll over to regular mode, you're gonna get 4 standard settings, which is Eco at 30 lumens, Low, which is 200, Medium, which is 800, and High, which is 1600 lumens. And each one of those settings will have very competitive run times compared to other flashlights of similar size and power that are on the market. Now, here's the one hang up that I have. The button activates through each one. You just click it and it goes and cycles through all 4 settings. But if you want that 3000 turbo power, you have to hold the center button down. And as long as you're holding it, you're gonna get those 3,000 lumens, but as soon as you let go, it's gonna go back to high. One last thing to note with the turbo setting is that when you hold it down, after 10 seconds, it will quickly start to drop the lumen count down to around the high setting. So really, you're holding it down for about 10 seconds, and that's about the boost of 3,000 lumens before it goes back to high. And though that's not a deal breaker, it's definitely a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's really nice that you can just click it on, push down the button, and you know you're gonna get that 3,000 lumens, and you don't have to cycle through or wonder which setting was last on memory mode. So that's a good plus. On the downside, if you're trying to do hands-free and you need that maximum power for whatever reason, you're not gonna be able to engage it. But leave a comment below and let me know what your take is on that particular feature. Would you prefer to have it cycle through all 5 settings and not have to worry about holding it down, or is that hold down feature a really nice touch? If you're curious about the action on the light, it is smooth as fresh churned butter. And when it sits in each position, you can feel a definite like seating feel. So you know, okay, it's off. Okay, now we're in the next position. And you just use the side of your thumb is what I found, and it becomes very intuitive to just rotate side to side. I think the name Search really helps to define what its capabilities and limitations are. I would not put this in a tactical light category because there is no tail switch. So if you like pulling out in a reverse hammer grip and using your thumb to activate, not gonna happen. And it's not intuitive in that way. Trying to use like your pinky to roll the switch to then engage it, it's just not ideal. But in a standard hammer grip, so just usual regular activation, it's very intuitive to not only use the rolling switch, but then rotate through your settings. Now, the reason that tail switch was sacrificed is so that they could give you a magnetized flat bottom. So you're able to attach it to different metal objects and go hands-free, aim it in certain directions. And in certain scenarios, that is really nice to see. And it's really flat, so you can tail stand it, no problem. A lot of tail switch activation-based flashlights don't do well standing on their tail and giving broad illumination. Now there's a caveat with this magnet though, and it's the fact that this weighs in at 6.6 ounces and is 5 5/8 inches long. So there's a lot of weight extending pretty far off of that magnet. So the more dense the metal is that you are magnetizing it to, the stronger and more capable the light will be. really thin metal, I found a very slight bump and it will disconnect itself. So just be aware of that. Depending on the type of thickness that is going to provide the magnetization will determine how well this actually holds, particularly in a horizontal magnetization mode. And throw a comment below, do you like the idea of magnetization on your larger flashlights, or would you prefer a tail switch? I'd be very curious to know what the ratio is for you guys out there that use your lights. And guys, if you're finding this video to be entertaining and informative, I do invite you to hit that like button, smash it, punch it, get in a fight with it, and to consider subscribing, becoming part of the Gideon's Tactical crew here so that you can be notified every single week when you hit that bell icon of new content I'm putting up, giving you guys breakdowns on gear and equipment to help you better stay equipped and prepared for whatever life throws your way. Now, I know you guys are as curious as I am to see how it holds up with that water resistance and impact testing, but before we do that, let's hit that charging port, which is USB-C, so that's excellent to see. 5 volt at 3 amp ratio. Now the diameter is just over an inch on top of those other specs that I gave you with a slightly recessed bezel with tactile points. We'll see how that holds up with that durability in a moment. You can get a few different colors. This is kind of like the smoke gray. Lots of different tactile points all the way along. Not sharp, but done very well. It does have a nice strong pocket clip that is removable. That'll have about an inch sticking out of your pocket. There is no pouch belt carry attachment. I think for the size of this flashlight, that's kind of a miss. They should have given that as an option for those of you who prefer to carry this as your work light or for extended recreational use. You know, for quick, just kind of hanging out, doing it on your weak side pocket, it's not too bad, but it would have been beneficial, I believe, to have some form of a pouch. You can obviously pick up one up if you would like, and it will have that spare lanyard hole right there, and it will come with a lanyard, spare O-ring, charging cable, and that polymer case. And I couldn't find, because it's 1,000 boxes everywhere, I couldn't find my packaging. There is a diffuser option if you want to help land an aircraft or something like that with the power. You could definitely do that. So there's a little cone diffuser. I'm not sure if that comes with standard or you need to purchase that separately if that's something that you're interested in, but that does exist. Before we find out how durable this is, and I can give you my final take based off of that testing, the price point on this is pretty competitive with other well-established manufacturers like Nitecore and Phoenix and Olight that give you similar power and similar size. It's going to be about $110 to $120 over on Amazon. I'll have links in the description below this video over to my Amazon store so you can check out the different features, capabilities, and some of the more nuances. If you're interested in this model, those links will be provided below. Appreciate Rovyvon hooking me up with this model so I can see its capabilities, any limitations, and as we're about to find out, how durable it is for you and me, the user. So let's see how well this works as a submarine. Whee! All right, we'll be back in 30 minutes. All right, we are right there at 30 minutes, and she is still on. Let's see. Yep. Nice, no problems there.
15-foot drop.
1, 2, 3, whee! What about concrete? Cycling or single cycling?
Yep.
Okay. So 1 drop, let's do 1 more. So a few impact marks, but still on. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Turbo. Well, you can't ask for more than that out of a durability test, being able to perform with its submersion test, passing that IXP8 rating, as well as 2 drops from 15 feet on dirt and 2 on concrete. And outside of that marring, working and functioning just like when I got it out of the box. But I look forward to hearing from you guys. What's your thought and take on this particular style and design? Is it something that really connects with you, or is it better just go with tried and true tail switch, you know, and what we're kind of familiar with in the flashlight market? I look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts. and I'm about to go hang out with the kiddos. In the meantime, I invite you to subscribe and check out the other video popping up. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.